Hey everybody, welcome to Bleeding Cool's Day 1 recap of the 2018 Westminster Dog Show. This guy right here, Ray Fluck, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. You may be used to me doing television recaps for like Twin Peaks, American Gods, American Horror Story Cult, The Walking Dead. But this time, in the interest of expanding Bleeding Cool's pop culture landscape and trying to get as much information out to you guys as we possibly can, this is our first year actually covering the Westminster Kennel Dog Show. And for those of you who don't know, and if you're watching this, you probably do, so I know I'm preaching to the choir, but this show is huge internationally around the world. I have always known it was big. I didn't get a sense of how big it was until we started covering it this year. So we're definitely going to be giving it a lot more coverage as we roll along, because it's just a really, really fun event and actually a really cool event and surprisingly enjoyable to cover. I don't mean that in a bad way, but we're going to get that in a second. But for those of you who know me, you know I like to jot notes down in my handy-dandy notebook. Brought to you by Lore from Amazon. They're actually not plugging this at all. They were just kind enough to give me this at New York Comic Con when I was covering the event. So when I'm done with this, it'll be something else. But I want to give congratulations out first to last night's group winners. In Hound, Lucy the Borzoi. In Toy, Biggie the Pug. In Non-Sporting, Flynn the Bichon Frise. I found it real fancy, haven't gotten that right. And in Herding, Flick the Border Collie. Congratulations to the four of you. Look forward to seeing you tonight in the Best in Show competition. But what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be going through some notes that I jotted down. For those of you who joined us for the live blog last night, thank you for joining us, and some of this stuff is going to be familiar, but there's some other thoughts I had along the way that I wanted to add. And also make sure that if you joined us last night, also join us tonight for the big wrap-up of the remaining groups and Best in Show. And if you couldn't make it last night, make sure you join us tonight. We're going to be starting at around 7:45 Eastern Time to be up and running for 8 o'clock start of the competition. So without further ado, let me give you some of my random comments. First off, to Ryan Speedo Green, who is the Met Opera singer who was singing the National Anthem. Love that whole sweater thing he's got going on. So if you are watching this by some weird random chance and want to give me the name of the store, that'd be great, because I think I could rock that, and I rarely say that. Fox Sports 1, I'm gonna have to say across the board, I was really ready to get all hardcore snarky on them, and because you know how announcers can be and things like that. It was really good, actually. The whole thing of the show, there was a good level of just fun without being cheesy or dopey, but it also wasn't too over serious. It was a nice blend. I thought the announcers did a really excellent job. There are little glitches here and there that I'm going to poke fun at, but overall, I thought it went smooth. It tells you something. It went from 8 till about 11:20, and it didn't even feel like it went 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I give them a lot of credit. I've watched baseball games that went less than 3 hours and felt like they were 8 hours. So I give Fox Sports 1 and Westminster Kennel really a lot of credit. I think they're going to do an even better job tonight, but a really, really good start on that. I was really, really impressed. The trailer for Wes Anderson's I Love Dogs, I wasn't sure what to think about it because the stills and the animation made it look creepy, but to see it in motion and to get the backstory and everything, really, really big fan of that, so I definitely want to see that. Bob the Bloodhound, wow. Huge dog. I mean, I know bloodhounds aren't exactly small, but I was really surprised how big he was. And the reason why he's getting a special mention is because it was one of those instances where somebody in the crowd it was quiet and you just hear, yeah, Bob. And, good for Bob. Bob may not rank or anything like that, but in the middle of Madison Square Garden, he got a little Stone Cold Steve Austin love, so nothing wrong with that. Small-headed dog on large dogs, it weirds me out. I don't mean to S-talk any dogs like that, to each their own. Hey, I'm open-minded. But yeah, it just kind of saddens and weirds me out. I don't know what that says. Adele, the Dachshund, again, you should appreciate all the jokes beyond the hello from the outside that I really could have made. There were a couple more down the road, too. We try to cater our humor here. Gentle when stroked, fierce when provoked. Again, another one of those. I'm just going to leave it to anywhere from your G to R-rated minds to interpret however joke you want to go with that one. You're welcome. Willie Nelson, Whiskey and Stoli. Let me tell you, that's 3 names of 3 dogs in competition last night. Let me tell you, and the makings of a great party. Really get high, get drunk, play some fetch. Yeah, really good time. Was really digging the names, actually. I gotta say, overall, just the breeds. I know there's over 2,000 breeds. I've never seen so many multi-consonant configuration and multi-vowel configurations, and Fox Sports 1, you didn't give me a lot of time to get those spellings down, so I think I got 90% of them, but wow, these nights do feel like my personal version of like the Scripps National Spelling Bee. It was rough. Jason Hoke, he's gonna have to explain what nutting someone means. I think, in fact, I'm going to pretty sure he didn't really mean that, but wow, that was one of those, like, I actually stopped typing and looked up. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's just one of those moments and one of those words you just don't really get wrong. I apologize for the Brandy reference, but it's just one of those songs I remember when I was growing up, so I know there's a couple of references there. But it's a damn good song, so if you haven't checked it out, yeah, it's got all that good 70s earnestness to it. And voice, wow, the guy's face does not match the voice. Just, yeah, I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know what intelligent means. I think that's a new word. I think we may have invented one last night over the air, so I thought that was pretty cool. Kai looked like he started moshing before they cut the camera. I would like to have seen where the rest of that was going. Shannon Sharp, that whole thing with the family that was there, it was odd. Shannon Sharp, I think, seemed he a little freaked out too. They just seemed to constantly looking not at the camera but in some weird off distance thing. I don't know what the production was on that, but it looked creepy and very Stepford like. I was gonna say it looked very Get Out like, but okay, it looks very Get Out like. We're gonna go with that. I like dogs, and I think it was Bernie, the Pekingese. I like dogs that when they walk, they look like they constantly have that R. Kelly wind machine on them. I just think that's really, really cool. I just like that constant, like, slow motion airflow. Like, again, think Hannibal, after he basically kicked everybody's ass and went all Jackie Chan and then left them and popped the collar and everything like that. I'm still bitter about that. And I made a Hannibal reference, so there you go. You should, again, appreciate the number of Biggie and Tupac jokes that I did not make. One, just because I think it just, again, you kind of have to pick your audience and pick levels of tastefulness or tastelessness. Poodly, I think at some point we should all be poodly. I'm not quite sure what poodly means, but I'm going to go with it because it sounds fun. So be poodly. It's some of the details I was noticing here. It's some of the descriptions are very, very interesting. Some of the descriptions for the dogs sound like they come from Match.com profile. Yeah, it's a little weird, not disturbingly weird, but just like, wow, who's writing these individual things? Finnish Spitz, not gonna lie, it sounds like an 80s Irish new wave synth band, kind of like or OMD or ABC. Wow, mind scarred on those. Django Unchained. Yeah, one of the announcers attempted to make a Django Unchained reference, I think, because one of the dogs' name was Django. I don't know if he was feeling uncomfortable, how it could have been interpreted or where it was going, but he just kind of abandoned it. I don't want to blame anybody because I wasn't sure who. It could have been Myers. I don't think it was Hoke, but again, I'm not sure it was, but it was like one of those moments where it was like, oh, yeah, just kind of, you got to move on. That just was not going to go anywhere good in any way, shape, or form. P announcer, by the way, in case you were wondering, Michael Lefebvre. I figured he would just do a little bit of love. Delta, the Poodle Mini. No one. I'm very, very disappointed. I haven't seen any footage yet of Scratchfest. Again, one of those quick cutaway moments before, but just went into full on. Sorry, I don't care if the camera's on me. It's like, I think it's the dog equivalent of picking the wedge out. It was just like, I need to scratch, and was just like, I want to see it. I gotta be honest, it was pretty damn funny. And no dogs. I didn't see any footage of any dogs pooping on the carpet. Or at least they didn't make it on camera. So, not that I was looking for that. It's just one of those things when you think of dogs, you're thinking, oh, I wonder if that's going to happen. Or maybe it's just me, but yeah, I'm just going to roll on. Roxham, reminded me of the kind of dog that Ozymandias from Watchmen would have. Probably the best way for me to describe that dog. I was kind of like, wow, okay, that's a dog on this planet. Didn't know that. Scotty McCreery, again, you were announcing the herding. Stop with the cheap plug for your music. I didn't think anybody else was cheap plugging, so it was kind of cheesy. Again, about the dogs, not about your country music sales. Aphasia, the herding, definitely reminds me of the Fraggle Rock dog. I may be wrong, I may be crazy, but there was just some kind of visual connection I made. I made an earlier reference thinking another dog was. I was completely wrong. This was definitely the Fraggle Rock dog. Smooth coat or rough coat, not sure what I'd want to be referred to as. I think that's kind of one of those deep philosophical questions. Anders, not going to lie, as soon as I heard that, I think Workaholics. Missed the show, loved the show, just kind of, was kind of my wheelhouse. Some of the jokes I'm going to apologize for. Yeah, it's I didn't want to refer to Rummy's coat, for example, as being able to take an atomic blast or be able to resist the Ebola virus. So I do apologize for that. And actually, I don't, but it was kind of good. Also, the other thing too that I got a response back, I wasn't trying. It's disturbing, and maybe you get punchy by the end of the night after 3 hours, but I gotta be honest with you, it is a little disturbing if you substitute hurting into where they see hurting. It just changes your entire complexion of the show. Yeah, it's a little creepy. And last but certainly not least, to Gail, I just want to say your mic was on. It was live. And no, I don't think any of us out there had any idea where exactly the post show was going to be taking place at, but we do appreciate you putting it out there. I was like, is anyone going to tell her this is going out live on national television? But again, hey, overall, I thought a fantastic day one. Very interested to see where things go tonight. May go over. I'm not sure because we've only got 3 groups and then Best in Show, and obviously Best in Show will just be a competition amongst the 7. But we're going to be starting up at 7:45 unofficially, but 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live blog post is going to go live at 7:45 at bleedingcool.com, so please make sure you check it out. Hope you enjoyed this. We've got some really cool videos down below of each of the winners during their groups last night, so I hope you enjoy those, and also some reminder information about some of the television things that are going to be going on today leading up to tonight's finale for Best in Show. So on behalf of Bleeding Cool, my name is Ray Flook, television beat writer. Hopefully you guys will be joining me tonight for live blog, and I'll be doing another wrap-up for you guys tomorrow. Take care.